Tim in the chat says, Biden slammed the lack of fact-checking in the media under MAGA. I can't believe we are here. I can believe we are here because, let alone the fact-checking that the media has done, has been a failure. Total, complete failure. But the other problem with the fact-checking, and why I'm actually going to be staying on Facebook, despite the fact that Facebook is eliminating fact-checking, is this. I have a video about this topic from discussing something else when I was talking about how the fact checkers are problematic that Facebook was using. For example, discussing Project 2025. There were videos and images discussing Project 2025, and Facebook would either fact check and or delete and or shade out any images that were saying that Project 2025 was going to get rid of like the NOAA, the National Hurricane Center, etc. People were making that claim, and the so-called fact checkers were saying, no, there is nothing in Project 2025 that specifically states these words. So because there's nothing in that document that specifically states these words, they would fact check you for saying that those things would go away. But we've discussed that on this show already, and there's a whole video on that, but the short version of that video, I'll link to a longer version of the video in this video, is that those types of fact checks don't help because it eliminates the ability of individuals to read a set of statements that somebody wants to do and then come to a logical conclusion about what the results of those actions would be. So if you read Project 2025, specifically that part about like the NOAA or whatever, like we did live on the show, you can read through all of those statements and you can say, okay, the logical conclusion from all of these things that they want to do is that these things are going to be harmed or destroyed from any sort of meaningful way. Like they won't have any meaningful purpose if you split those functions up or if you automatically just remove those functions altogether. So these types of fact checks that Facebook was using eliminates the ability to come to a logical conclusion based off of certain plans. Plan 1, 2, and 3. Like let's say some plan was like we're gonna stop giving away free food. I'm not saying it does, but let's say somebody's like we're gonna get rid of Medicaid. Let's say they said we're gonna get rid of food stamps. Let's say they said we're gonna get rid of other things that help people who are living in poverty. You would then say, well, this document is saying that that they should kill people who are in poverty, and then of course these fact checkers would say, no, that doesn't say that. It doesn't call for the killing of the people. It just calls for all these other things. But the logical conclusion would be that more people would die because of that. And if I said Donald Trump saying that he wants to pull out, or the Project 2025 saying that they want to pull out of the World Health Organization, to me, the logical conclusion of that is that more people are going to die worldwide because we are not taking part in the World Health Organization, a global organization that is meant to help people not die. So the end result of that is more people are going to die. But if you couldn't say that under the old so-called fact checkers, because they would say, well, the document doesn't say that. Well, screw you. The document says a whole bunch of other things that you can come to a logical conclusion that the end result is going to be. The other problem, and this is maybe a little bit of a silly one, is that the fact checkers could not differentiate between, what was said in humor and what is said seriously. For example, a friend of mine, actually it's the host of the most Nimbus Yosh with the smooth sounds of the Percy podcast, which hasn't been on in a while, but anyway, he posted a link to Facebook talking about a new variant of the COVID-19 new variant of COVID-19, the virus. It was called the Ligma variant. And that was the joke, because Ligma sounds like lick my, what's the Ligma variant? Ligma balls or whatever. And that's the way that joke goes. But he posts this on his Facebook page, and Facebook fact checks him. There is no Ligma variant of the COVID-19 virus. Really? Did you really have to tell people that there's no Ligma variant? Did you really have to fact check a joke? That's one of the other things that make the fact checkers a joke. So while I, I do have questions, I do enjoy the fact that, whenever community notes on Twitter against Elon Musk, like when Elon Musk posts something and then community notes is like, well, this is why Elon Musk is wrong. I love when that happens. But a lot of times, as a software developer, a lot of the times, crowdsourced software, like, the crowd getting in there and kind of jointly, making software, that can a lot of times lead to some good software. However, I'm not necessarily convinced 100% that it's going to be, great for Facebook to have that version, but I have no reason to believe that it won't be better than what Facebook currently has, because what Facebook currently uses is crap. What Facebook currently uses, again, fact-checked jokes and made it so that people couldn't reach logical conclusions based off of other statements made in a particular document. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to continue to stay on Facebook. It's one of the reasons that, I'm kind of glad to see that type of fact-checking is going away, because that will allow people to share these logical conclusions based off of the statements that are being made by Trump, his administration, his incoming administration at least, and those groups that support him. What do you think? Agree, disagree? Leave your comments down below. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day.